Usually when it hits like 4 p.m., I become like a completely different person. I like completely shut down.
And so does that sound like somebody who's well? Remember the start of the video? Will Tennyson is unwell. Oh, it's clickbait. Is it clickbait? How is this well? Coach Greg, in today's video, Will Tennyson is unwell. Everyone now knows Will Tennyson has been dieting for over 200 days, preparing for his very first bodybuilding competition. And in doing so, he's dieted to single-digit body fat, perhaps close to 6%. And remember, Will Tennyson is 100% natural. And yes, he's using Ajuga Tirgastanica, Turk Builder Max, as well as GO2 Max, but these do not boost your testosterone. They make you more aggressive, they give you more strength, endurance, recovery, and so on, but they don't prevent you from lowering your testosterone. And part of this journey to the stage involves a peak week. Many people, they know what that is. And so in his latest video titled, I tried the world's most extreme diet for 100 hours, Will Tennyson now knows exactly what it is to suffer. Yeah, he suffered a bit in the past, eating chicken, broccoli, and rice, and so on, cutting out the burgers, fries, the desserts, and candies. He's been eating in a calorie deficit, but nothing compares to peak week. Will Tennyson, skeleton face engaged. Bro, are you okay? My dude, your face looks emaciated. Insane, bro, but please, for the love of God, have a donut. They're so delicious. Remember donuts? Those of you who have competed, you know that this means he's on point. If you don't have a skeleton face, if no one comments and says, are you unwell? You probably haven't dieted hard enough. And so in this video, Will's going to explain not only the physical, but the mental difficulties of getting ready for competition.
My macros over the next 4 days, 54 grams of carbs. I think the last time I had 54 grams of carbs in a day was the day I stopped breastfeeding.
And so what's happening is he's drastically reducing his carbs in order to go what's essentially keto, so that his muscles, they get completely depleted. They get flat. And in doing so, super saturate with extra carbs, allowing the muscles to look that much fuller.
178.3 pounds. I have a feeling that when the 100 hours is up, I'm gonna practically look like I'm ready for my deathbed.
And so his starting weight, over 178 pounds, it's going to drastically be reduced. The reason for that, well, muscles, they contain glycogen, and for every 1 gram of carb, there's 3 grams of water. And so by reducing his carbs, it's going to reduce his water. His muscles, they're going to become dehydrated, looking more flat, and there lies the process.
I need to get 12,000 steps daily. I have to drink 2 gallons of water. No artificial sweeteners, no additional seasonings besides what's listed on the plan.
And so the reason he's drinking so much water, 2 gallons, approximately 8 liters, is because that's flushing out his body of electrolytes. And so by excreting more sodium, there goes the water as well, allowing the body to get more dehydrated. Remember, this is a drug-tested competition. Will cannot use diuretics, and so he has to use natural methods to dehydrate his body.
The workout so far has been pretty good. Energy is decent, pump is decent, and that's because 2 days prior to the depletion, I had back-to-back high carb days.
And so during peak week, it's not the time to go harder than last time. He's saying, as Jay Cutler likes to say, his energy is decent. Decent is decent. Kind of like Sam Sulik's conditioning.
Your condition's decent.
If it was normal to walk around with 6% body fat, to be on a starvation diet and have plenty of energy, then more people would actually do it. But this is something that's reserved solely for bodybuilding competitions. I mean, are you seeing the chest striations in the back, the Christmas tree, and so on? This looks unreal.
2 scoops of some whey protein. I have a feeling that this is gonna taste like imported Italian gelato.
And so one of the amazing things of when you diet to this extent is that everything tastes delicious. Plain tuna, delicious. Chicken breast, boiled, love it. And so unless you've ever dieted down to this point, you have no idea how good food actually tastes. When I'm dieting down, I have no trouble eating plain salads with mustard, perhaps some low-calorie ketchup on top, some pepper, some aspartame, and it's delicious. Oh, you're hungry, Greg? Oh, I'll eat a pound of spinach and I'll put some pepper on it and some Miss Buttersworth, and that is delicious. But once the diet's over and you've had the taste of ice cream, donuts, candies, and so on, you're thinking, how did I ever eat that salad? And so you can wonder why this cookbook is so frigging amazing. After years of dieting down, going back and forth, dieting, not dieting, I needed to have a brand new diet, a system that could allow me to eat healthy, low-calorie foods year-round. And so if you're looking for a diet that works, a system, a cheat code, code Greg, 15% off.
There's a lot riding on 5 ounces of chicken breast to successfully get me to sleep. I'm starving right now. My head is hurting. If I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm doomed.
And so yes, when you diet like this, you're not going to be able to sleep. It's horrendous. I remember natural bodybuilding days suffering to get 2 to 4 hours a night of sleep. Now, thankfully, we have Delta Sleep. Can help you to get a greater night of sleep. Many people are going to suffer. And if you're in fact enhanced, it only actually gets worse. You ever heard of transomnia? It's even worse. And so if you're a natural bodybuilder, your sleep, yeah, it's going to be suffering. But if you're enhanced, probably going to be even worse. Code Greg, 15% off.
Like my brain feels perma-hotboxed. I think the reason I slept so well is because I have absolutely zero feeling.
And so what Will is going through is very similar to someone who's suffering from an ED, the word that ends with rexic. When you suffer, when you diet to this extent, your life, it doesn't care to have any fun. You perhaps don't even care about the opposite sex. You don't watch anything on TV. You don't want to listen to music. Nothing excites you. You just go about your day. You're just trying to get by, counting down the time until this is all over.
Like, I think the closest thing I could get to morning wood is if an actual tree crashes through my window right now.
And trying to get harder than last time, good luck. Even with harder than last time, when you're dieting like this, your body doesn't want to procreate. It's thinking there's no food in sight, there's no calories, you're literally at 6% body fat. This ain't the time to try and make babies, and so nothing happens. I remember back in the day, several months of I don't care. I had no desires. I could have looked at anyone. Nothing excited me. The only thing that excited me was the thought of it's eventually going to be over.
But it's time to get up slowly. If I get up too fast, I see my ancestors.
And he says he's going to get up slowly. Now, there's something known as hypotension. I experienced this a lot. As I dieted, my resting heart rate, as well as my blood pressure, it would plummet. Consistently, my resting heart rate, 37 to 39 beats per minute. And my blood pressure, rarely would it ever be over 110/55. Very, very low. And so if I got up too quickly, I would pass out.
Literally everything that doesn't involve just sitting and staring feels very overwhelming to get done.
And so yes, extremely monotonous. You have no energy. I remember trying to drive, unable to do shoulder checks. You're thinking, how is that possible? It was. Getting into car accidents, asking my friends to drive me to the gym, needing assistance to get out of the bathtub.
These are the moments you ask yourself why you're doing this, you know? And honestly, oh my God.
And so as you can see, unable to form coherent sentences, he can't think as clearly. And so if he were to take an IQ test, it might be as low as Togi's 79. 79!
I basically treated the grocery store like a hot topic. Like, you're gonna spend a lot of time in there, but you're not gonna buy anything. Doing this actually really helped because it excited me for the days to come.
I mean, this is something that we do. You're on a diet, you go to the store, you look at the foods that you can't eat, you're thinking, I'm gonna be able to eat that soon, next week, after the show. And so one mistake that people have, which I hope Will does not do, is start planning all the cheats in advance. Many people start planning out. Oh, I can't wait to eat all this crumble, the donuts, chips, candies, and so on. And they even go and buy it all in advance. If you have it in your house and you just finished a diet, a starvation diet, if you will, and it's readily available, you're not going to be able to stop. Your body is screaming out at you. You just starved yourself. Now you've found some food. You need to eat all of it. And so essentially you're fighting against your own biology. And so I strongly recommend following a competition, please reverse diet.
Brian Johnson wants to live forever. He should just try this diet because it feels like forever.
Another great point, when you're suffering, time seems to stand still. Like when I did the bike race I just did and there was this 19-second lead, I'm riding up the hill. I'm thinking, well, it's now or never. I need to sprint. The minute and a half that I had to go all out to catch those riders, it felt like an hour. In comparison, if you're having a great time on a Saturday night with your throat goat, you're thinking, it's been 8 hours. I can't believe it's already over.
Bodybuilding prep is a very selfish thing to do. It's life consuming. You change as a person, and people who are very close to you in your life, their life is going to change indirectly too.
And as far as relationships goes, as long as there's always 100, sometimes it's going to be 50-50. Sometimes you're going to give 80, they're going to give 20. Sometimes they're giving nothing and you're giving 100. But you always need to make sure that it adds up to 100, because if it's not, that's the beginning of the end.
Next on my to-do list is I want to get my wife, Katie, a little appreciation gift. This is going to be the first thing she sees when she comes to the door.
Yeah, we've all been there. You buy your partner all the things that you can't have. I know what this is like. I've seen it many, many times in the past.
Do you guys remember this morning when I said I had a brilliant idea? I kind of forgot I owned a Ninja Creamy. So it's 2 scoops of protein with just water, and we're gonna make ice cream.
I mean, if you put artificial sweeteners in, it'd be fine, but your coach cut those out when he didn't have to this early in your contest prep. Well, hey, it's okay if they do, but it doesn't need to be done. I don't do this. Oh, and by the way, if you are looking for a coach, I've reintroduced coaching with much lower prices that some of you can afford. Not all of you, some of you. Remember, we're going to give blood work recommendations, the diet, the training, the weekly check-ins, phone calls with Coach Greg. That's right, you will be talking to me on the phone. And so if you're interested, click the link in the description, apply today.
This hill is like Mount Everest for me right now. On the bright side, I'm no longer afraid of zombies, because I am one.
Many of you, probably 99%, are thinking, this makes no sense, I don't get it. When he says that that little incline looks like a mountain, it really actually does. I remember thinking, oh, I'll go and do some cardio today. I'll go outside on my bike. I ride out 30 minutes thinking, well, that's simple. 30 minutes out, 30 minutes back. Took me an hour to get back. Why? Ran out of energy. I'm literally sitting there on my bike thinking, do I need to get an Uber to drive me home? But somehow you keep pedaling, barely turning over the pedal, but you get home. You just do it. And so this is what Will is doing. He's getting it done.
Oh, man, this shit is hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever done.
I did this my first time in grade 12. I remember going for a walk around the hill. I'm halfway around the hill and I'm thinking, I don't think I can make it back. This is something I nearly used to sprint around. It's a 4-kilometer loop. I used to run it in 15 minutes. I'm walking and I can barely complete it in an hour. How is this possible? I'm thinking, I'm supposed to be fit. I'm literally doing triathlons. When you don't eat enough, when you're starving, when you're carb depleting, this is the result.
At the physique photos, that's the leanest I've ever been in my entire life. Absolutely crazy. I just can't believe the lines that are coming out, how dry I look. The legs are really coming up.
Man, it's the back for me. It's so friggin' shredded.
Coach is like, time to add more food. I got super excited. Little did I know he actually just meant I got to add an extra tablespoon of olive oil and an extra quarter teaspoon of salt.
See, the thing is, it's about dropping carbs, carb depleting. And so if he were to actually add in more fats, proteins, and so on, it would have been okay. It wouldn't have actually made that much difference. But what he cannot eat is extra carbs. He's depleting his glycogen stores. This is how it gets done.
I feel terrible. I've had COVID before. This feels worse.
And I'm not trying to disparage some people who got it and are no longer with us, but comparing being sick, like just having the flu, for example, with this, it's not even close. This is far worse.
Blinking feels like cardio. Carb depleted and emotionally unstable is quite the dynamic duo.
Exactly. The blinking should count as cardio. Brushing your teeth is hard. Using the bathroom is hard. Wiping is hard. Turning your head. Opening doors. Back in my day, we never even had remote controls. You had to get up and turn the knob on the TV to change the channel. Try doing that.
I'm finding it incredibly challenging to not give every set, every single thing I got.
And so essentially peak week training, it's similar to taking a deload, of which many people do, especially if you hire various coaches who feel the need to have deloads all the time. Most people are always training as if it's a deload. Will's saying, look, you're probably not training hard enough. And so even on Will's peak week training at 70%, he still feels he's training harder than most.
I am so down bad right now. I just had a shower and I brushed my teeth for a snack. Cinnamon clove.
And y'all make fun of Coach Greg for having strawberry flavored toothpaste.
Usually when it hits like 4 p.m., I become like a completely different person. I like completely shut down. I had to close the blinds because the sun hurts my head.
And so does that sound like somebody who's well? Remember the start of the video? Will Tennyson is unwell. Oh, it's clickbait. Is it clickbait? How is this Well? If Will were not competing in a bodybuilding competition, what would y'all be screaming out? He has an ED. And not talking about the downstairs, although that's probably having difficulty working as well. And so being a bodybuilder, it's very similar to having an ED. And so which comes first? Does bodybuilding create the ED? Or do people with EDs seek out bodybuilding? It's a little bit of both. If you already suffer from trying to control your appetite, you want to look a certain way, you want to be shredded, bodybuilding is naturally going to draw you towards that because you literally are being rewarded for doing exactly as you're doing. And if you're okay with your appearance and you do in fact start bodybuilding, suddenly you're now being judged based on your appearance. And so what do you think can result? Well, you become unhappy despite the fact you look amazing. Perhaps you get second place, you want to win next time. And every single competition, you can slowly spiral down until it takes control.
And man, do I look flat. Flat as hell. Social media standards, I look like I don't even lift. I look like I don't even touch a weight.
And so by terrible, he means amazing. He's saying, I don't look good based on social media standards. If bro had a 10, everyone would say, I can't believe how you look. He's only missing a 10.
With my physique being so close to its final form, I was actually pretty curious to see what my body fat was, so I went in to go get it tested.
I mean, I'm thinking he's probably sub 6% body fat. Now, his upper body, it looks even leaner, but he does still have some fat on his quads.
In order to make the body fat measurement as accurate as possible, we measured each site 3 times to get the average.
Let's add it all up.
Bicep 3, tricep 3, subscap is 5, so 3, 6 plus 5, 11. And so according to my body fat analysis, Will is at 4.8% body fat.
He's probably around 5% body fat. 5%.
Because it said 29 years old would be 4.8?
4.8.
Y'all don't think that Coach Greg knows how to calculate body fat. This is the first time I've seen this video. I did a bike race, I did a shower. I have to go to Malta in about 30 minutes. 4.8%. What did I predict?
The caliper test is a pretty accurate test for your body fat, but I still wanted to get a second opinion, so I tried the in-body scanner.
No, the in-body's like asking Eddie Hall, hey, what's your opinion on my body fat percentage? There's no accuracy whatsoever.
Oh, wow.
There's no...
I'm 3.2% body fat.
And so he's not 3.2% body fat. 3% is about as lean as you can get before death. And so Will not quite at death doors yet.
There's no way I'm 3.2% body fat, and the only thing that's clear to me is that I desperately need a tan.
Everything which I predicted. He needs a 10. He's not 3.2%. He's 4.8. What more do you want?
Total weight loss, 4.5 pounds in 4 days.
And in about 15 minutes, his veins are going to be just exploding. He's going to feel like a new man. And with each passing meal, he's going to look better and better, more carb, feel more like himself. And come show day, Will at 4.8% body fat with a popper tan, I think he's going to win it. Remember, if you're looking for Turk Builder Max, we're always sold out. And so get to the website and click that button and get notified immediately when it's in stock. We will release it to you 3 hours before we release it to everyone. On our last drop, we sold out in 46 minutes, but the VIP members, they got to order as much as they want. And so if you want to get it on the next drop, click the link in the description, get notified. You will get a text 3 hours before it drops, and you can buy as many as you want. Code Greg, 15% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Go and follow Will, give him some encouragement. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops. Of course, if you want coaching, if you want the cookbooks, training books, all the stuff, get to the website. I'm off to Malta, and until next time, I am out.